My name's Corey Corrigan, and my daughter Harper she just turned 3 over the weekend, and she has Miller-Dieker syndrome, which is a genetic syndrome that causes her brain to be smooth, which is called lissencephaly. She also has a trach and uses a ventilator for separate issues. I was 31 weeks pregnant and my water broke completely. They tried to keep Harper in for a few days and she stopped moving. She was previously a really active baby. She was always flipping and flopping on the ultrasounds. So they kind of had a semi-emergent C-section after 2 days, and she was born, and she did cry. And for the first 24 hours, we thought she was gonna be fine. She was on CPAP, she was doing pretty well. Her APGAR scores were pretty good. And then 24 hours later, she went downhill really quickly. And so in her first day, she was life flighted to CHOP, Children's Hospital of Pennsylvania, or is it Philadelphia? Yeah, Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. And she was in critical condition. She had fluid around her heart for some unknown reason, and that was the main reason they transferred her there. So honestly, the biggest thing has just been meet other parents. I feel like there's a huge gap in the medical community for therapy. They know that it should be a thing, they know that you should go, but they don't really have much information for you as to what is available and what you can get. And even her early intervention therapists really have had no exposure to a lot of the things that I have found just by talking to other parents. Well, the talking to everyone the first time was really great. Everyone was so helpful and supportive and genuinely seemed like they cared about the kids and their outcomes and whether this was a good fit for them. And that really means a lot to me. And so I was really excited about that. So our goal always for her is to gain head control, because from head control comes all of her other therapies and better quality of life. And she is a very motivated, opinionated little girl, which is amazing. But it also means that she gets frustrated sometimes because she can't do the things physically that she obviously wants to do. And she really does not like help. For a kid that is total care or whatever they call it, she genuinely really does not like when she needs help, especially with her hands, especially things that she just really wants to do. She gets very mad at you and she'll glare at you. We weren't sure, honestly, whether she could do 3 hours, but we thought, might as well give it a shot. She could take a break maybe. And almost every day she's been doing 3 straight hours of incredibly difficult PT, which has really blown us away. And we're not really sure what the difference is. We know that she lives for praise, and she gets a lot of praise here, and there's a lot of people that are yelling at her name. So maybe it's that, but I don't know if it's also the equipment that's just helping her give it, a little bit less work on some of the things to focus on the things she's working on. Outside of that, her head control has really come a far way just in the 3 weeks we've been here. The thing that I guess I didn't mention is that technically her diagnosis is a life-limiting diagnosis. Doesn't mean she's terminal in the sense that there's like a timeline for it, but they gave us the idea that most kids live 2 to 10 years. Obviously a wide range, but nowhere near the age you would hope to be. And that has just been a constant in my head thing that I'm aware of all the time. And most of the kids pass away because of aspiration or seizures, but a lot of that comes from a lack of core strength and a lack of ability to cough or to fight off illness because their body is weak. And so she certainly isn't running around, but any strength she can get is like literally potentially life-saving for her and kids like her. See all the staff. They said everybody is just so wonderful, and they talk to Harper as she is a 3-year-old and not based on her physical attributes, which are more like an infant. And that means a lot to me, especially because we know that Harper understands those things. You know, she recognizes pictures, she knows words, and has been assessed at 12 to 18 months cognitively, which is insane. But it also means that it's hard sometimes for her to be engaged with in a way that is actually where she is, because her body is so disconnected from her mind, seemingly. Is it gonna be helpful? There's just so many questions about it. And we went back and forth on whether we should put her through this. But instead, you know, she's come and I think she's really enjoyed being talked to like a 3-year-old and being engaged with and being challenged. And that's something we wouldn't really know without coming here. I guess the other thing to note is we had to move our intensive because of COVID. We had originally scheduled it and we went back and forth on when we were going to schedule it. And you know, Harper is super high risk for COVID. She hadn't had her vaccine yet, wasn't available. We went back and forth on when to schedule. So we scheduled it, and then by the time it came around, COVID was raging, and she had been enrolled in a COVID trial, a vaccine trial, because we were so desperate for her to get protection. But we didn't yet know whether she had gotten the real thing. And I was nervous that we were going to lose our spot, she wasn't going to be able to get in, that we were going to have wasted all this money. And the staff were super helpful and didn't kind of hold it against us that I know some other centers can and say, well, oh well, you didn't come, you know, that's too bad. And were really helpful in moving it and getting it rescheduled. You know, Harper was pretty sick at the time that we had to reschedule. Turned out not to be COVID, but we were like, she's really not doing well. We don't think she's gonna do well. We don't know if she's gonna get COVID. And they were just helpful and caring about it, and really just seemed to care more that Harper was safe, that she was gonna be okay, and that she could engage with the therapy when she came. And that really was super helpful to us. You know, we'd have just lost that money and not been able to come, and would not likely reschedule it after have gone through that and thinking, oh, you know, something can happen with her any day. She can have bad days any day. And so that was extremely helpful to us. I think it's just really the people that are here. You know, I haven't been to another center, but I've been to a lot of medical institutions and towards schools and had therapists. And unfortunately, not everybody cares about your child and how they do and learning their little personality and engaging with you as a family. And so it's really special, and you can find a place that everyone is like that there. We haven't had a bad, even close to a bad interaction. It's all been, you know, we look forward to coming every day, and we're gonna be sad when we go home and we don't interact with the people here anymore.